Sound good? Oh, that's better. Wow. Okay. Welcome. It's good to see all of you. I hope everyone's doing okay through everything. Be nice to kind of check in. I don't know how we can do that. Well, we could do that. Just maybe a little quick check-in just to see how people are faring. Let's start with Mary. I see you right up front there. How have you been doing? I know this is a little different, but as part of our call to order, can I just do a quick check-in? Make sure everyone's doing okay? Mary?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Had a curbside graduation for my son.
Congratulations.
And my daughter still kept an internship, so that was huge. It's virtual. So I've got everybody at home. But the fact that she kept an internship this summer was pretty huge.
Great.
So, and Bob's busier than ever. Personal care industry, everybody wants it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, congratulations on the graduation, and that sounds good. Let's check in with Smith. Smith, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. We're doing okay. School year's over, so we got through with that. So we're trying to figure out camps and that kind of thing to do with the little guy.
Yeah, I heard there's this great virtual camp through REC, but we'll talk more about that.
It is great.
Sounds like Teresa. Mike, how are you doing?
We're doing well. Busy with work. It seems early in the summer, but the big thing with work is our students coming back in the fall.
Yeah.
Because if they are, right now is when we have to put a plan into action. So it's interesting. It's challenging. So otherwise, the kids are good. I did see for Father's Day, my oldest came up from New York. I saw him for the first time since January, so that was very nice. And he has been extremely careful. So we actually did masks in the car and social distancing outside. We spent most of the time outside, so it was very nice to see him. I missed him greatly. So
yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, day by day.
Right. Good to see you. Good to hear everyone's doing okay. Bill, how are you doing? Bill, do you read me? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, we had someone who, both kids home with us at present, and one graduation from grad school and one still in school, and we've been doing a lot of eating and cooking. Well, this is really the place to be because we're not actually, so we need to be able to kind of come together and talk about all the good stuff that's going on. We got some hard workers in REC, so hopefully it will feel very worthwhile. I hear you're doing well, Bill. Mika, how are you doing? Mika, you're on mute. You're on mute, Mika. How are you?
I'm just babbling away on mute. So, doing well. Michaela also graduated this year, so she had the virtual things as well, and a little curbside type of celebration.
Nice.
But we're all so far so good. Everybody's doing well, and things are going. Things are very busy. It's odd because everyone's home, but it seems like it's as busy as it's ever been.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Do any of our REC crew like to chime in? Jim, you've returned after having your second hip done. How are you doing? I know we talked a little bit, but
Yeah, hanging. Great to be back. Doing well.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you.
And sorry. And John DeMeo, you've been doing a lot in Jim's absence and keeping things running very nicely.
Thank
How are
you.
you doing? How are you doing, John?
Yeah, pretty good. Hanging in there.
Yeah. And we have Teresa. I lost Teresa, lost sight of Teresa. You're there, Teresa, right?
I'm here.
You're here. How are you doing? I know we'll hear a lot from you today this evening about camp. How are you doing?
So
Yeah.
between rec and also working remotely, my full-time job. But besides that, I would like to. We are celebrating as of today, even though it's 2 months adjusted. The twins turned 6 months old.
Wow.
Yeah, but technically they're 4 months, but it's 6 months. But it's huge milestone. The last pediatrician visit, they said that it would usually take 2 years, but they have caught up on height and weight, so they're now at the 50th percentile. So they wouldn't be considered premature for height and weight, but we're going to check their milestones for skill level this Friday at a specialist they're going to. And not to brag, but this is all I got going for me right now. Miss Catherine already passed her preschool test, and she's only 2.5. So those are my 2 proud moments.
Wow. Congrats. Congratulations.
My mom said I'm pushing her too hard.
You're an
She seems to be responding, so.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's it.
And then Johnny A, how are you doing this evening?
Good. We're doing good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people, open up all the fields and everything like this and getting everything done, trying to work on the pool, the building. There's a lot to do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're on it.
I know you are. That's great. So it's good to kind of do that check-in, see how everyone's doing. It's been a while. Do we have any public comments?
No public comments and no attendees.
Okay, so if anyone comes, this is being televised, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and if anyone drops in, we'll see, because there's that Q&A.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any comments. Okay. Let's move to the minutes. So I saw there were the minutes from way back. The last time we actually had an in-person meeting was February, was that right? I think. There's the, yeah, so there was, wow, that's wild. So there's the minutes from way back, February 24th. Mary, Bill, Mike, Smith, Jane, and I were there from the commission. I didn't see any corrections when I read it over. Did anyone? Is there any? Oh, actually, I guess I make a motion to accept the minutes and any discussion. Is that right? Am I doing the right order? Mika, you always correct me on this.
I don't have the agenda in front of me, Andrea. I'm pulling it up on my phone now.
Okay, I'm making a motion to accept the minutes, and then at that point I open up for discussion, or do I need a second?
You need a second, and then you can open it up.
Thank you for helping me out.
I'll second.
Who second? Smith seconded?
Yes.
Okay. And any discussion? This is from the minutes from February 24th. Okay, do we have a motion to accept the minutes from February 24th, 2020? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Aye. Bill, you're on mute. You'd have to say aye or.
Andrea, just call for a nay. Call for a nay vote as well, so that way you know that if there's any.
I'm sorry, what's that, Mika?
And also call for anyone who does not want to accept them, so that
Right.
you make sure you, yep.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anyone who does not accept the motion to accept the minutes? Okay, so motion to accept the minutes from February 24th. And Smith seconded it. Okay. All right. So then we move on to the minutes from the special meeting on May 19th, 2020, the special WebEx meeting. And Smith, Mary, Jean, Kim isn't here. So it's just the only people who are here from that meeting were Mary, Smith, and myself. I'd like to make a motion to accept those minutes. I didn't see any corrections when I read it over. Yeah. I forgot people again.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion? I guess it's just really Mary, Smith, or myself.
No.
Okay. So, motion to accept the minutes from May 19th, 2020.
Sure.
Yes.
Mary? Okay. Anyone? Mike, I don't think you were there. Oh.
No, I wasn't. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, that's okay. I was just looking unless you were left off. Okay. Okay. So, anyone not in favor? Okay. So, move to accept the minutes. All right. Liaison reports. Let's turn to Mika.
We did have a BOS meeting about a couple weeks ago, and testing my memory here in terms of it. I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm not in my office. But we did, obviously, everything was passed as far as the budget was concerned. We had about a 1% decrease in the overall spending for this coming fiscal year. So there was actually a tax decrease associated with that, largely due, as you know, to some savings realized through everything that's happening, particularly with rec and the library and some other, those types of organizations. There was additional discussion as relates to the Darling House. We're in the midst of negotiating a new agreement with them. And I'm not sure that there was any other thing of extraordinary that we went over. Any questions? Do you have any questions that I might? Beth made a statement as relates to not only COVID, but also what's happening as far as some of the social type of activities that are going on. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Mika. Any questions from anyone? Okay. So we'll move on to my report. Let me just say, just kind of to echo some of what Mika addressed. We've been talking a lot, and we'll be getting into that this evening about how to continue programming in rec given COVID, and we've had many discussions and meetings. John and Beth and Tony and a number of us have had a bunch of discussions. So we're working hard on that. And I know everyone at the rec department's working very hard on that. And also, this is not really rec related. Well, it's not rec related at all, but there was a big event in town. The young people organized a peaceful protest, and it was quite well attended. I think there were probably close to 300 people there. And it was impressive to see the commitment and enthusiasm of trying to make this world a better place. I think that whatever we can do to promote community wellness, that's a big part of our mission, from mental health to physical well-being and really it hits the spirit, right? So I think that John and I have talked a little bit about even how to integrate just the spirit of community and taking care of our brothers and sisters and what it is to be a citizen in a community and look after each other. And that's something I think that's something that's overarching in a lot of themes, and for us to be really cognizant of that in our rec programming as well, really about how to, take care of each other, look out for each other as we look after ourselves as well. So I did want to comment on that. We'll be, I guess most of what I want to say, we'll be discussing it tonight related to the pool and how we're handling fields and certainly the summer camp. Teresa's working very hard with the virtual camp. So I'm going to leave it there at this point in terms of what I'd like to say at this moment, and turn this over to Smith if you have anything you wish to add in terms of your report.
I just want to compliment Teresa and John Michael for their virtual classes. I've popped in and seen a few of them, and they're really doing an amazing job. So kudos to both of you, and for John and for Jim and John in the office for being so flexible and changing your programming so quickly. But I think it's amazing, and a compliment to everybody that's involved to get this off the ground. So great job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Smith. Yeah, that was like a critical thing. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of creativity, a lot of discussions going into this, and it's extremely impressive how this program that we're so used to being, face to face, and it's very physical, and so much has been done to expand and to modify things to meet the needs right now. And more than ever with COVID, that goal for wellness is so important in terms of keeping our head in a good place and our body and well-being overall. So yeah, agreed. All right. Let's move to the pool. There's a lot of discussion about the pool this evening. John, do you want to take off with that? And Teresa, this is your domain.
Okay, well, I've had discussions with Brad, with David Riley. We've gone over this and everything like this. David and I were talking today. We talked over the weekend. Brad came in today, and we put together a schedule. If we open the pool for WAC, we have to open the pool for the public. That's just part of the domain that we have to do. So we came up with a scheduling thing that will work out, and Dave agreed to. WAC will swim Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Originally, it was 11 to 3, but because of the cutting back on 3 days, and we don't want to have the adult swim program, the public, in at the same time as the kids, because we have to clean in between. We have to make sure it's clean before and after they leave. So we expanded it to 10 to 4. So WAC will come in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 4. We'll have a custodian here. He'll be here at 9:45, and he'll stay 2 hours after they leave to clean up the entire building. And then general swim will be on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday to start with, and it'll be 9 to 12. These are trials. We're going to put it together and see how we're doing. Dave Riley is going to be in charge of the pool area and everything like that. John DeMeo will be the pass checker. We have to follow all COVID-19 rules and regulations. So John will be taken in the front of the building where they come in the front door. We have to mark out spaces 6 feet apart. They can stand. Each one comes up. John will have a plexiglass in front of him, and he'll have a laser thermometer. He'll take down the name, the time, and the temperature of the person that enters the pool, and then they go straight down to the pool. They should come to the pool pre-ready to go, have their bathing suits on and ready to go down to the pool. Brad is establishing, because to open the pool with Quinnipiac, not the governor, but Quinnipiac in the state of Connecticut, Quinnipiac Health Valley, says you have to have showers. Whether they use them or not, that's up to the people, but we have to have the showers open. So we're refitting the locker rooms. The ladies' locker room will be just the gang shower. Everything else will be closed. You can go in, and the showers are 10 feet apart. The men's locker room is the same thing, taking out the benches. So you can go in there, you can take a shower. They're 8 feet apart, and you can use that and go if you want to, or you don't have to. You can just leave. So pretty much we've going, and we're looking at July 15th to August 31st as our phase 2 opening. That'll be our phase 2 opening, and then come September 1st, the building isn't really open. Beecher Road School is a closed building, but the superintendent of schools worked with us, and we're allowed to come in this part of the building only. So as long as the kids stay down here and the adults stay down here, nobody wanders into the school, even though things are locked, they follow procedure. I think we'll have a pretty good opening, and we'll have a pretty good time. And then come September 1st, we'll expand our program. I'm working with Dave Riley. I asked Dave Riley for his help, and he's going to help me. And he sent me an email about opening to the public, because when you have the public open, you can't bring everybody in. They said 25 people, but that's too many for our pool. And working with Dave, he's bringing in 15, but he's having them 15 feet apart when they swim, and every hour he changes over. So he's going to work with us and see what we do. It might be only 6 people. We might be only allowed 6 people at a time, and people have to register ahead of time. If they want to come swimming, they tell us a time. We put their names down. They can come in for half-hour swimming times. And you can swim an hour if you want, but you have to sign up for it. And we have to see what we can do to try to get as many people into the pool as safely as possible from the COVID. And then when we're done, our custodian comes in, he'll clean the entire full deck area, every knob thing that's down there. He'll go up in the locker rooms, every sink, everything in the locker rooms, every shower head and area will be sprayed down and cleaned and ready for the next day to open. So we'll have one, in the phase 2, we have one cleaning. We really have no money. So Brad's coming up with the money. We have 0 in our budget, but Brad has money in his budget to cover the custodians. So we'll have our custodians do the cleaning, not WAC. We'll have our people coming in and doing the cleaning, so Brad can take care of that, because Brad has the PPE equipment. Also, Brad is going to give us 2 boxes of masks, 100 masks to have out there. So if anybody enters the building, they have to enter the building with a mask on. Mask must be kept on till you get to the pool. Once you get to the pool, you take off your mask, you can swim, and then you'll start 3 people at one end of the pool in the recreational swim time, and 3 people at the deep end, going in opposite directions, opposite one, so you don't stand next to each other when you start. And he'll be doing the same thing with his swimmers during his time. And then when you get out of the pool, you have to put your mask on and follow all procedures for COVID-19, social distancing and everything. And that's basically what we have. And I think this is going to be a good start.
Thanks, John. Yeah, there was a lot of this, that was a great presentation, John. This came after an enormous amount of discussion about what to do. Can we open the pool? What's the safety involved? How can we do this in a safe way? Can we do it? So that whole summer, it was days and days of talking about how to make this happen. A number of us met to discuss this, from Beth to Tony to, the superintendent of Beecher. So it's, there's been a lot of discussion, but yeah, we wanted to definitely talk about that here and see what our commissioners think. Go ahead, Mike.
So just to be clear, what is the maximum number of people you're going to allow in the pool?
The maximum number of people, as of right now, I'm going to talk with Brad tomorrow and Dave Riley. We're going to work on it. The maximum number of people for the public will be 6 per half hour. So if we open up at 9 to 9:30, there'll be 6 people swimming. 9:30 to 10, 6 more. We switch them in and out. The 5-minute grace period in between. And if we have to expand that 9 to 12, we can always go 9 to 1. Expand if we have to make spaces. But Dave Riley is going to be our onboard expert. He's an expert in the field of this, and he's helping us to do this, because you have to maintain a distance. He's been maintaining 15 feet. He balloons 15 feet. It's an excellent thing for the swimmers. Adults, you can't put 2 people in a lane, because one person can outswim another person. Some slower swimmers in there with a fast swimmer. So you're going 1 person per lane and half-hour times. And you could sign up if you wanted to work for 60 minutes. You sign up for two periods. But we're looking at something like this, signing people in.
So how many members does WAC have right now?
I think 90s. I think something like that. He said he has like 80 or 90 right now, and he's bringing in 15 at a time. He's bringing in 15, and then he switches over the next 15 and switches over the next 15. So he's trying to space it out. That's why he wanted to have 6 days, but we couldn't afford to do that. We couldn't afford to double up because we'd have no time for our recreational programs. So we just added more time to his. It's going to be a little bit more work for Dave, but he understands that, and he said, for the kids, he would do it. He's a good guy like that, and we're gonna try to get everybody in. So they're swimming twice a week instead of just one. So if he gets his 15 kids and kids that are coming that signed up, they may be able to swim Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Each one will get 3 days a week into the pool. Not for competition. Dave said this is not for competition because all the meets have been canceled and everything. This is to get the kids out of the house, get the kids here, get the kids back. A little assembly of what they are used to. That's what we're trying. Anything else?
And
we're going to tweak it. Dave and I had talked. He said, we'll look at this thing. We'll see how it goes. We could tweak it and see what we can do. And then we're going to, as soon as we get this going, we're starting on September.
you also mentioned someone supplying PPE, masks and stuff, but how long is 100 masks going to work? How long is that going to last? I assume that you're not.
The masks are only for those. Yeah, I know that's not a lot, but the masks are only for those that will do it. This will be for recreation people that coming in. Everybody's told to bring a mask and everything like this. And if they forget their mask, they get here and they forgot their mask. Instead of having them go home or not swim,
Okay.
we'll have a mask for them. So that's the way we're going to use it.
Okay, so it's backup. It's not.
It's just a backup.
Right, it's backup. It's not rec being the primary. Here, use our mask each time.
Right. That's correct, Mike. It's a backup system. It's a protective system, so nobody has to go back home or if they forgot their mask and lose their time. We'll have something for them if they forget.
Okay, cool.
Now, the other thing is if for any reason COVID numbers increase or there's anything that seems risky, I assume we will pull the plug on this as soon as, if something like that were to happen. We would have to be very fluid. We're talking water, right? We have to be very fluid with this plan. This is the plan. However, if there's an issue, we can't wait till like a commission meeting because we would just pull that in terms of the safety of everyone.
And that's why we're having a sign-in sheet, a professional sign-in sheet with the name, the time, the temperature and everything on it. So if somebody does come down with the COVID, we know what they were there and the people they contacted with and what time they were swimming, and we could contact everybody. We'd be able to contact them. That's the most important thing to have. But if we do have somebody get it like that, we would have to shut down the entire thing. The whole entire thing would have to be cleaned. That would be shut down for a few days until we can get the whole place cleaned and then up and running again.
Okay.
I think in Connecticut, if you look at Connecticut's one of the lowest returns of COVID virus for the second round of any state because we're following the rules and regulations and we're making it tough. And this was a tough thing to do. This was a hard 3-4 days. Andrea was helping me, Dave, Riley, and the whole group. We were just working together. Brad sitting down, writing up things and showing me what we have to do with PPE stuff and everything and providing it. So I think we're going to be pretty safe. As long as nothing happens, I think we can do this.
Okay.
Any other thoughts? I'm sorry, I interrupted someone.
No, I just said thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Smith.
Mary Mary, are you still involved with WAC? You were our WAC connection for a very long time. Oh, you're on mute. There we go.
I sure am. And Dave has put together a very comprehensive plan. During regular season, there could be up to 120 kids cycled through there. He's holding it down to 9. He's doing it at 15 kids per session, 15 feet away from each other, designated bag areas. Wearing masks, they will have their temperature taken. There will be a side corner that if there was an asthma attack or anything out of the ordinary that could happen, and obviously sanitizing after everything. Because obviously the chlorine's not your problem. It's when people have swam, the heavy breathing's the problem. So that's why he decided the 15 feet distance was the best.
Yes. Yeah, we want to
Unmute.
the numbers, or keep the numbers down in Connecticut as we
Yeah,
have.
Dave and I had talked to him. This is our trial period. This is why he's keeping it at 90. He's bringing it in. He's trying to see how it works like this, to get the kids used to it. And then once this works, if this goes, then come September when we open up for the fall, we start opening up the full-size team and everything. And working on that and expanding the hours.
Okay. Do we feel we need to vote on this? I'm not sure.
Well, I would think that would be a support. If you voted on this and this program to start with like this, it would be the support of the commission backing the recreation department and showing that we're moving forward in the right direction.
Okay. So let's make a motion to support this plan to open up the pool to the WAC program and to our adult swimmers, taking into consideration all COVID protective regulations. And in the event there's a change in the COVID regulations, or there are any illnesses, unforeseen illnesses that appear related to COVID, that we would modify or close the program as soon as concerns come to our attention.
Could you make that 20 adults 21 and older?
20, okay, for adults 21 and older
Yeah. Otherwise, it's perfect.
in our general swim. I don't know if I can repeat that motion. Do I have a second for that motion?
Is Smith waving? I don't know.
I second, yes, sorry.
You second it?
Yes.
Okay. Any?
Um,
Oh,
John, are kids allowed in the pool?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
I have a quick question. So two things I just want to bring to attention.
of course, I'm sorry, Teresa. I meant to ask you to chime in on this.
That's
please.
okay. First and foremost, if someone refuses to wear a mask, or it's great that they don't show up. If they don't show up within, we have backup. That's a fabulous idea. But if someone refuses to wear a mask, or refuses to get their temperature checked, or for that information to be written down, and I just want to make that, I want to address this as a commission, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
Thank you.
What is our protocol that we are going to take to address that situation?
John's not going to let them through the building. If they won't take a temperature, they can't enter. They cannot enter without taking a temperature, and they're not going through the double doors right here unless they have a mask on. And if they take the mask off when they go down and refuse to wear it, we're notified that what they did, the guards notify us. We take their name and they're put on a list. They can't come into the pool and use our pool, and they have to see the Recreation Commission to get their privileges returned.
Okay, so I think we should have some signage up, and I could be, that people understand that, temperature and mask are mandatory, and maybe send out a news blast to the membership.
Yes.
So that they understand before we go forward with this, because I understand some people are very pro-mask, like myself. And then there are some who don't feel it's necessary, and that's completely up to you. That's your decision, right? Just like it's my decision to wear a mask, and some people are pro-temperature, whatever, again. But we're dealing with the public, and we're dealing with a space that has children and everyone's safety, and nobody goes to swim in a pool expecting to come home and potentially make their loved ones ill. That's not what your goal is. Your goal is to become, have a, like Andrea said in the beginning, physically fit, mentally fit, and that swimming helps that for a lot of people. So I just want to make sure that we have that standpoint there.
If you want to play in our pool, if you want to swim in our pool, you play by our rules.
Okay, so my second question is this. We mentioned for adults 21 and older. A lot of my lifeguards are not 21 years old.
They're employees. Employees are part of the rec department.
Okay. And now, with that being said, employees then have to understand that they're having their temperature checked before they also come into the building.
Yes.
Okay,
That's correct. Everybody, Jim, myself, and John, every day. Our
Okay.
temperature is taken. Even tonight when we came in for this meeting.
right.
our
Oh, yeah.
temperatures.
No, I'm totally on board with temperatures, trust me. And also masks. While they're working, as they walk through the building, they have a mask on, or when they're sitting on the pool deck, can they take it off, or must they keep it on?
Who's that? The lifeguards?
The lifeguards, yeah.
Lifeguards have to be masked at all times
Okay.
until they have to jump into the pool, then they can take their mask off.
Well,
and do
I'm sure the mask would come off someday. Also, my second thing is because it is going to be a controlled situation. We are only going to allow one swimmer. Our seat mandates that we only have to have one lifeguard per 25 swimmers. And since we're going to be able to control who is going to be there, because they're going to be blocking it off, I would in this phase 2 recommend that. And the reason why is because we only have one facility, one bathroom for the lifeguards. It's a co-ed bathroom. So we would not be able to clean that. They would have to clean it every single time after they used it. So I would recommend, since it's a controlled situation with only, us scheduling it out, and there won't be more than 6 people in the pool at the time. And of course, we'll have John DeMeo upstairs and the custodian there. And we will have backup if, God forbid, there is an emergency, someone to call 911. I would recommend one for right now, just for phase 2, because of the facility situation of only having one co-ed bathroom for the guards to use, because we
agree.
don't allow
That's
them
a
in the
great
public
point.
bathroom.
That's a great point. I agree with that. And we don't have to clean it until the end.
Correct.
Clean it in between each time. Don't worry about it. Good
I have
job.
a question. What happens if that lifeguard needs to take a restroom break and there's no other adult supervision?
So what, they can use the phone in the office, in the guard office, and that of course has a huge window there, if you've ever been down to the pool deck.
Yes.
And they can just page up to the rec office. And when the pool's open, 99% of the time, Christopher and I are there. So they would be able to of course, obviously use the bathroom.
Yeah, and so
Yes.
you were Chris.
Back in coverage for that.
Okay, okay, I just wanted to check that.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can just go in the pool.
Oh,
No,
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
need
no,
to.
no.
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 All right,
Um,
those were my only points.
Those were excellent points.
Teresa, could I just ask you a quick question?
Mhm.
How long are their shifts? And when is their break during those shifts? And if there's somebody in the water, how does that work?
Well, see, what it
It's less than
is,
6 hours, so they don't need a break.
right, and what it happens is because we always have 2 lifeguards on.
Right.
I always have 2, so you never have to worry about when their bathroom breaks are or when their breaks are, because they coordinate it with each other.
Right.
And I hopefully hire responsible young people that they are able to communicate. I know I do, communicate with each other and say, hey, I'm going to take a break for a couple minutes. Okay. And when you come back, I'll take one. And they know when it's busy, if there's a lot of kids in the pool, hey, listen, your butt's in the chair and you're watching the pool.
Right.
That's what you're there for. And if they need to use the restroom, one tells the other one, hey, I'm going to use the restroom. And that's the ideal situation. And that's why we always have 2 lifeguards, and also,
Okay.
each other's backup.
Also remember that our custodian for that Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be Jerry Case, and Jerry Case is a certified lifeguard.
Right. That
So
was
our
my
custodian,
plan
so
of,
that's an extra person we have in
Right.
case something that, let's say the guard gets sick, we have
Right.
Jerry to come in and take over, and then Brad can come in and help us with the cleaning.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Great. Those are really good points. Thank you, Teresa. So we've had discussion. Is there more discussion about this plan? The motion to open the pool to WAC, to open it to adults 21 older, that the regulations be posted about, the PPE and taking temperature, and that should be part of the news blast when it goes out that we're opening the pool, so that everyone understands. I actually, I had one other question. Once someone passes the thermometer test, the mask test, and they go through the double doors, the person has to touch those double doors, or will it be open? How do we handle that? Because then we have a lot of people touching the door.
It should be open. I know when I take the kids to the pediatrician, all the doors are open, even into the office, even into their room, and they make sure that they stagger the rooms, you know, and they only have one patient in at a time. So I would feel that we would have the main door, unless inclement weather, right? That the main door should be open there so that we wouldn't have people touching it, like the center door.
Right, and what about the door to the pool, to go down the ramp to the pool? That one,
Yes, that'll be open.
Yeah, that should be open. Since
okay.
we're gonna have John there, I would assume that you would have boom, 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 you know, 3 in a row. And hey, you know, you pass the, you know, if you pass X, Y, and Z, then you pass go. If
Yeah.
We're
not,
gonna have X's on the floor, we're gonna have markings on the floor, and the people have to be on the markings. As you come off the marking, you go up the ramp, next person steps forward, nobody else is allowed through. John's gonna be right there.
Okay, excellent. And the other thing I remember Dave Riley said with WAC that people have to show up on time. If they're late, then they won't be admitted to come for their swim time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mary has a
They come in through the doors and then they leave through different doors, or are they gonna come back out the front doors?
Same doors. They come out, we only access one way in, one way out.
Okay,
Okay, so they'll be coming in and coming out the same way so we can keep track of everybody. There's no other exits, so we know when people exit.
okay. I didn't know if we were opening up those doors that were on the deck. I know they're alarmed.
They're alarmed, and Brad said they can't be opened, so we're gonna do it this way. We'll have an arrow on one side of the ramp pointing downward, and another arrow pointing upward. So you come down on the right and go up on the right.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions or concerns? This is a big decision, so it's worth it to have the discussion now to make sure everyone has all their questions answered, concerns answered. Anything else? Okay. So all in favor of accepting the motion to opening the pool to WAC and to our general public adult swim age 21 and up from July 15th to August 31st in this phase 2 of the COVID-19 openings, with all of the safety precautions in place, and with the reminder that if for any reason there's a change in the COVID numbers, or there's any concerns about any of the swimmers, their health or well-being, we will close the program until it is safe to open it.
I'm sorry, I have another question.
Please.
Sorry.
No,
In doing so, in doing all this, you know, you said you had quite a few meetings. So in terms of, it sounds incredible, by the way. Great work, everyone, on the thinking of it, the safety issues, all that. Is there any, because I've been very thoughtful about this in terms of work, is there any aspect of this that puts the town in a position of liability? How do we know? Has this been talked with legal? Has this been, you know, how has this been vetted and assured that if someone gets really sick, that they can't come back and say, well, we created an environment that
We're following the governor. We're following the governor's phase 2 operations that he's doing, and we're tweaking it even more than what he said. They said that you can open the pool and you can come in and you can just go right down there and you can have up to 25. We cut it to 6. Dave is going to, instead of going to 25 himself, he's going to 15. So we've really gone above and beyond like this, and we're following the governor's COVID-19 rules and regulations for phase 2 for pool openings. 100%.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Yeah. I mean,
And Beth Heller was a part of these discussions as well.
okay. Sounds good then.
But Tony's on vacation right now, but when he comes back next week, I'll present this whole thing to him. I'll sit down with him, present it to him, and I'll ask him that question. Do we need the town attorney, town council to go over this and check this? And I'll double check with that. I'll make sure of that.
And that's a great idea. Thank you, Mike, for bringing that up because, and we have time. We have time because we're talking about July 15th as the opening, so we're not at the final hour. So the motion pending any concerns by town council, any legalities that we are unaware of, the idea would be to open the pool as discussed. And for this 7-week period, and then proceeding on to a fall plan when and if it's safe to do so in terms of the pool and adjusting accordingly. We don't have to make that decision yet, though the next time we would meet, unless we need to have a special meeting, wouldn't be till, what is it, August 24th, I think?
That is correct, August 24th.
So, I don't know if that opening for the, I'm jumping ahead a little bit just to think this through a little bit. If we're thinking about the fall, and if we have a meeting on the 24th, does that give enough time to pull that together? John, if we need to.
We'll be putting the plan together. We'll probably start next week. Dave Riley and I will start next week putting together a plan for the fall. We're going to sit down, Teresa. We'll get together. We'll talk. We'll figure out something. We'll figure out our plan and get our place, just like I did tonight. Have something ready for you. We'll have something ready in place, and there. So you just have to approve it.
Okay, so you don't expect that we would have to have the discussion before the 24th to make that happen?
No, if there's a problem or anything like that, or we're getting into difficult situations, I call you like I always do, and we'll talk it over, and we'll see where we can go and what we have to do, and if we have to have a special meeting or not.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Is it necessary to repeat the motion?
Word for word, please.
I'm sorry, Jim, if you're trying to take minutes with this. Yes, Mika, please.
Just because it hasn't been mentioned, and I feel like it should. Tom, were there any? Is there any implication from a budget standpoint on this, or any concern as far as that's concerned, as relates to what I'm taking it that the expenses associated with keeping the pool operational, really what you're doing, as Teresa said, you're minimizing the number of people who are required and who would otherwise go beyond not doing this. So I take it that those kinds of things have been reviewed and we're in good shape.
Yes, Tony, what we did was we have the money. It's going to cost about $6,000 for the cleaning of the pool and everything like that for custodians, 2 custodians, and we have like $13,000 in that account still. So that's covered. And now we're going to one guard for a session like this. So that would be about $4,000 for 2 guards, so about $2,000. When I spoke with Tony, he said if anything changes, anything like that, to come back with him, and the board of selectmen would help us out, in covering that. We don't have the $2,000 for the lifeguards, but we would be able to get it. Or we would just take it from, our January, whatever it is. We have a budget from January 1st to July, and we have plenty of monies there that would cover this. It's only about $2,000. So, and I'll talk to Tony about that too when he comes back.
Thank you.
So it sounds like, so we're contingent on talking to getting our legal advice, and just to confirm the budget that we're able to carry out this plan.
Right.
Yeah, thank you, Mika. Do we have a motion to approve this plan, or a second for this motion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone not in favor, please let us know if you're not in favor of this plan. We haven't heard from Bill. Bill, is there anything you wish to?
First eye.
You were the first aye, okay. All right, and I'm in favor. All right, sounds like we're all in favor, and well done. Great discussion, great work, John and Teresa, and everyone who's been working hard on this. Thanks to Brad and his efforts, and for Bob, Superintendent Gilbert, to accept this this plan, and to Beth, of course. He's been very supportive of everything that Rick has been doing. Okay, will we need to approve a lifeguard? Do we have a lifeguard set up, or are we going to need to approve personnel?
We have lifeguards on our staff.
Okay. Any personnel that we need to discuss? I don't think we didn't have any personnel in the packet. Okay. Director's report. John,
Yes.
please take it away.
The fitness center is closed. The fitness center is still closed. Outdoor facilities have opened. All the fields are opened. All the playgrounds are opened. All the signage is up. Our signage has been changed. We sent our signage over to the town, and Jerry Weiner, the town attorney, came back with, this is his, what he would like to have put up. COVID-19 rules must be followed while using town athletic fields and playgrounds, including mask required, maintain 6-foot distancing, equipment is not sanitized, use at your own risk. And then the town is covered. Town is covered under that. That'll go up at every field tomorrow. Tomorrow when I get up in the morning, I'll get out there. I already have signs, but I'll take those down and put these up with that. The tennis courts are open, and we went to permits. There's no charge for a permit. And off the wall, we got people now that a lot of people are using it. The weather's beautiful, and people are going there, and they're finding out that people are on the court. They're asked to get off because they don't have a permit. And so how do you get them? And the word got around, everything like this. So our phone is ringing off the hook. So we have everybody using the programs there. We have pickleball on one court. And we talked to the pickleball people, and signs are up that if they're playing doubles, they have to wear a mask, and those signs are up like this, and they're following. I go every day. I drive by the fields twice a day, once in the morning, once late in the afternoon, and people in Woodbridge really follow the directions. I really am proud of the way our facility is being handled at the tennis courts. There's no programs for sports. We have nothing, and we have nothing set up for the fall until we find out from the school. The school has to come up with their regulations. I know Bob said, the superintendent said that he'll be opening the school to the public September 1st. Teachers will come in like 2 weeks before to set up their rooms, but then the building opens up with all new rules and regulations that he has, but he's going to get those to us, so we'll have that. Our financial report looks good. I don't think we're going to overspend this year. And that's basically all I have for everything. And also I went up yesterday and checked the tennis courts at Beecher North, and they're in good condition. And I also checked the track. And I couldn't believe how perfect the track was. And there were 2 people using the track. Like this one guy asked me, why are you driving? And I said, because I can't walk. That's just my exercise. He laughed. But we check everything. We check the equipment. We get on West River Field. We make sure everything's okay. Adam is really helping us a lot. He's really done so much for us to help us. We have porta potties are going at every field. The porta potties are there, and they're being cleaned every week. The dog park had a great opening. They're doing a great job, and they're putting beautiful trees in and benches and everything. So we're pretty much in compliance, and we check everything. Like every day, everything is checked. And if there's a problem, Adam calls me or I call him, and we get it done immediately. We don't wait. So we're all set.
And can I ask, the porta potties, was that town approved, huh?
Yes, that was town approved. That was town approved because, they just asked us where we would want them, and they wanted one at the tennis courts. And then we opened the fields. They said, you know what, we have one at the tennis courts. We have one at the walking trails. We have one there. So the same thing. I'm going to put this sign that I got about the fields and everything. use your own risk, that'll go up on the porta potty itself. So
Yes.
people know that they're using, that they, using it.
Yes. And we should have that same sign up for the swimmers. And as well, maybe it should be that news blast, just the whole piece about the COVID safety. That should all be part of that. I'm just thinking. You know what I mean?
John, can I ask you a question about the fall programs? Obviously, depending on the schools, but at this point, are you thinking that we're not going to have any fall programs? Or are
We
you?
may have limited programs. No, I want to have programs, but we may have limited programs. We can only have so many in the gym at a time. We have to have spacing, and we have, a limit. The problem is we don't have a rec center. We have a limited center. Orange has a summer camp this year because they're having 8 groups of 10, and in their facility that they own, they have 10 rooms, and each 10 group goes in a room, and that's the way they're doing a limited like that. We may be looking at a limited. I want to open up. I don't want to close and be closed, all fall, thing. I want to be open, but we may be on a limited basis because of space, because we deal with the town and because it has to be clean. The whole thing is after you use it, no longer can you just walk out of the gym and let the next group come in. The gym is closed until it's cleaned. Right. So we have to figure something out there because the school uses it during the day, and we have to get it cleaned before we can go in. And then when we're done with it, we have to clean it so that the school can have it clean for the next day. So those are things we have to work on.
Right.
But I want to open up. I want to see if we can get partially open. Just moving up slowly.
And obviously no decision about the road race yet.
The road race is closed.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Well, no, you know what? Let me take that back. We sent the permit in. We sent the permit in for the road race, and we're going to wait until the governor's third phase. This may because I know they may open up outdoor things to 100 people. Now we average about 100 people for our road race, somewhere in that area. So we might be able to, but I don't know how you would do a start. How would you can't have everybody crowded up at a start like that unless we'd have to work on it. But right now it's not closed. It is not closed. The concerts are closed. The concerts are closed because we have no way of controlling, keeping 100 people under 100 people, and it wouldn't be, I don't think it'd be cost effective to open it up for 100 people, like that. If you get there and you want to be there, and people say I can spread out, I can sit over here, so that's closed. But I think the road race right now, yeah, we're still open. We're still open. We're working on that.
Okay.
I guess we'd have to see if there's a way to stagger the start. That might be tricky for timers. I don't know.
Yeah. The hard part.
Yeah. Okay.
Mary's hand up.
What's that?
Mary has her hand up.
Ooh, thank you for.
But she's on mute. Mary, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted.
Any consideration to make the 5K virtual? Because I have friends that have done marathons, even this spring, that were virtual.
Yeah, Michael had said something to me about virtual running like this. So, I'll check with him and see what we can do. Maybe do a virtual 5K. Because that people run on their own. Because he wanted to do part of it for maybe for the fall. If we can't do our running club, maybe we do a virtual running club where the kids go there and they're assigned. You have to go on their own time and get there and get laps in.
Yep.
Something. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It is a nice event. I get it, but I understand we still got to be distanced.
Right.
So much
I'm very distant when I do the 5K. I'm about an hour and a half behind everybody.
Well, I'm 2 hours because I'm still walking.
You, I saw.
I can't run anymore.
No, I can't even walk. So.
Lots of good creativity.
And we still have under virtual camp.
Yeah, I know. We have virtual camp. We don't actually have a heading in our agenda, but it's part of the program.
It's under programs. We do it under programs.
Yeah, virtual camp.
Virtual camp. We started our virtual camp today. It's a camp from 10 to 12. It's 3 40-minute periods that they do. Michael's doing the exercise portion like this. Kimberly, my daughter in New Jersey, is doing like animals, turtles, things like that, arts and crafts. Teresa's doing, I got to tell you one thing. I got to give kudos to Teresa. She is absolutely fabulous. This young lady, she has worked so hard. I don't know how a woman with twins, well, her older daughter's great. She's Catherine's really good, but she takes care of the twins and she runs this and she gets it up and running and everything. And I just want to say we could not do this without her. And we didn't have any money. I want to make sure this is on record because I got a call today from somebody about, summer camp and everything like that, why we didn't have it and why I wasn't working or something. So I forgot that the town took all our money. All our monies were taken, like this, like that, because we weren't going to have an outdoor camp. And so Teresa, working with no pool, turned over and started helping us in March, putting together after school virtual stuff. And she then went right on from there, right into summer camp. And I'm going to give her 100% credit for making this program fly because it is a good program. She has a lot of things on there and she worked really hard at it. Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. And I just want to say, I just want to comment on the budget that, John, you worked extremely collaboratively with the town, with Tony, with figuring this stuff out. So I thank you for being so collaborative in this effort to really help out the town.
Thank you.
Financially, yeah. So I just wanted to address that as well. And
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, and Teresa stepped up so.
Stepped up like you wouldn't believe.
I mean,
I'm an older person, so to me, she's the Mickey Mantle of recreation. Billy DeRosa would know what that means.
how many folks or how many kids do we have?
Well, right now it's lined up because we didn't have computers. Fortunately, we didn't get a computer till Thursday of this week. We had no way to sign up anything like this, but we had 5 people email in. And when we have the program today, Teresa's running the program. We had 5 people running, but everybody at the houses had 3 or 4 people
5.
at each house. So there were 5 or 6 people, other people.
So one of the classes we ran today, we're running 15 different classes throughout the week. So it's quite a organizing undertaking, to say the least. But we actually did storyboarding today. And one fun thing that was funny, I asked some of the kids, I said, do you know what film is? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, not a movie, like physical film. And they're like, no, what is that? And I went running around my house real quick. I'm like, hold on, I'll be back in a second. And I pulled out film and I was showing it to them. And we kind of broke it down a little bit organically. Yeah, so we did storyboarding today, and we break it down into units. It's totally up to them if they choose to do the work or not. We provide them resources that they can use to do these activities. That the resources that we're providing them have no charge. So it's in either an app that we found that John Michael or myself or whoever. Tomorrow is photography, and then I forgot to send you guys the list because Kimberly and I last minute we moved some stuff around because she came up with some great names like Mother Nature Mondays or Travel with Me Tuesday. She's a little bit more creative than me in that aspect. But John Michael is actually doing a virtual running club every Tuesday and Thursday. That's part of our camp, and he's also doing a virtual boot camp every Mondays and Fridays, and it's geared towards obviously children. And then, so basically we have 3 periods: a creative period, physical fitness period, and if you want to say educational period. We've been provided content from zoos. I'm reaching out to community figures like police, fire, doctor. We have a doctor who's going to participate, a veterinarian. We have one class that's When I Grow Up. So it's all ages, all aspects. So, some of the classes you might want to be a little bit older, but some, one little boy today, he was totally into it, but he had his 2 little sisters with him there too. And my storyboarding class we had, I was surprised how many kids when I saw on the screen through the room. And we just all had a good time. And yeah, everyone, John Michael, they were following along. I give John Michael a lot of credit working out in that heat, let me tell you. He was outside there. His computer overheated at one point. And he had to so it's a lot of communicating every day, a lot of scheduling. It's it's a lot of figuring out, but it's getting done, and a lot of great feedback, and it's very secure and safe. And these kids are learning things that we didn't even offer, that we didn't even know these kids wanted or needed, like film, photography, very, in the arts. Whereas where I was kind of driven in the beginning in school, and we need that in our community. And there's, kids are thriving off of that because some of these kids are really interested in it. And unfortunately, those classes are held at a premium price, and you sometimes can't afford it. Like a photography class, I remember when I was a little girl, it was easily $1,000, and it's a lot. So I love that I'm able to teach those things to the children, and we got very good feedback the first day. So we'll just keep on trucking along.
And our cost, I just want to make sure that we understand, our cost is, we changed it to $100 a family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's $100 a family, plus that $100 is a credit towards next year's camp or next year's recreation if we have open up with other programs like that. But also what we're going to put in there is that if you sign up for our virtual camp, you'll guarantee yourself a position or a place first in line for joining our camp if we have a restricted camp next year. We're able to open up a little bit and have a camp right here, a regular recreation camp, but we have to limit our size. Anyone that's in our virtual camp has first refusal of coming to summer camp next year. So that's an incentive for everybody.
Nice. It sounds very accessible, and it's really nice that that as many people in the family can join for that $100, and still be able, it's still credit for the future.
I know in previous meetings there was mention, and I think Bill, you might have mentioned just in regards to having pieces in the paper about rec, as opposed to just in our newsletter, and something like this, based on what everyone's saying, and certainly it seems like it's going in a very good way. So I just mention it as I don't know if we established a contact with that or if not, but certainly seems like something that is worthwhile for us to tout and let people know this exists and that things are happening.
Well, the good way that we set it up, and thank you for that, is that the content is on demand. So see, even if you join us in week 2 and you feel like, oh my God, I missed classes, the first class, right? You didn't miss anything, because you can actually go back into that content the way we have it set up. I call them units because that's just what they're titled, but we basically set up rooms. So the content is there from class 1, and the video is there from our first meeting, and the things we went over, and the project list. So even if you join us in the 3rd week, you're still going to be able to catch up. You would just be able to look at class 1, watch that video after the fact we were live, and see the content that was done, and you would still be able to participate. So there's no, oh my God, I missed 3 weeks, how am I going to catch up? It's, it doesn't matter when you start.
That's great.
It
And
also
what I was
doesn't mean
referring
that
to
you're
more is just some good news. Just to actually, it's nice to get good news and hear good things happening. So.
right.
So Teresa, I guess, is it sort of like Facebook Live, or I'm not?
No, it's so we use a social, it's on Facebook, but it's through their social learning development portion of it. And you can break into your group, which our group is only by, I don't want to sound like this, but invite only, like
Yeah.
So we know who's in the room, and it's monitored, and then we break it into units, which are basically rooms. And then those rooms, so say this morning when I did storyboarding, it shows that room on the top as active, and then you join that room and everybody's able to see each other and interact with each other. But that I don't want to sound super technical, so I apologize. So the room, and then that video is stored under that topic. I'll refer to them as topics instead of units, that topic. So you're able to access it later on.
Okay, I think it's great that the kids in the program can see each other. It makes it a little bit more interactive.
Yeah, and more human. And also everyone's schedules don't jive. Like it may not be work for you 10 to 12 and that's cool, but you really want your child to, get into these things if they're into running or whatever it is, and they're able to do it, whatever time fits into their schedule.
Okay. So in terms of getting the word out, which I guess Mika, you're like, get the word out. This is so good. So what are the various ways this is going out? So there's a news blast, right? That goes to
Mhm.
all people who've registered through rec. So anyone who's registered for rec programs would see through a news blast.
We send everything over to Betsy Yeager, and we
Yeah.
have a news blast already been sent out, and we send everything over to her. And everything that we have to do, any advertising, anything goes out has to go through her office.
And did Betsy, I didn't get to look recently, is it all on very accessible on the front page of the town news website as well? If people look at the town news site.
I don't know if it's on the front page, but we sent it to her. We gave her everything, but I don't know if it's on the front page of the website. But
Okay.
she has everything that we have that we've talked about today.
Okay, great. We should take a look at that because we don't want to have to dig too far to find
Yeah,
this.
we'll check with Betsy tomorrow.
And in any other news vehicle, this would be good. Be good to let people know. I know we received at least one correspondence where someone was very concerned that we weren't having the face-to-face in-person camp. But again, that was a big decision to do the most responsible thing being, it wasn't feasible given our facilities, how we would be able to do an in-person camp. So
It is on the homepage of the town website.
excellent, thanks.
Okay, so it's on there. Yep, we sent it over. Thanks,
And-
Mike.
Excellent. And then is it also on the, so Teresa, you're doing this on is it the Woodbridge Bethany?
Bethwood.
I do it on Bethwood, then there's a Woodbridge Community Forum, then there's the Woodbridge Watch, then there is the Moms of Bethany Orange Woodbridge, then there's, I could go on forever. So
Is it on the town Facebook page? Is there?
No.
Oh, perhaps there should at least be a link to it, maybe on the town Facebook page, right? This is a town program.
Right.
Sorry, it's like more stuff to do, but I would think that it should be on that page.
Well, that could be a different topic at hand about what is actually posted on the town's Facebook page. Sometimes if I don't want to, it's very I don't want to say selective, but if it's on the website, sometimes they don't put it on the Facebook page. I don't know for 100% certainty, but also at the same time, they don't want to overrun it with a lot of information. And also, if you put one group on, the feeling is you have to put every group on. But
It's a town program. It's a town program. This is our rec camp this year. It seems to me that would be appropriate. I don't.
Right.
Maybe who's in charge? Is that Betsy, who is responsible for the town Facebook page?
Yeah, Betsy's in charge of that.
Betsy is. So I think perhaps, is there any reason not to post there if it's approved to post there?
I think it should be posted in many places as possible.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, every one of these posts I put out, they're under my name, and not that I don't mind because I've been with rec forever and a day. But I'm starting to look like the crazy recreation lady.
Nonsense. But, okay, so who should follow up with Betsy? Because this should be, I think, in my opinion, that this should be on the town Facebook page. At least a link to how to get in, or who to contact, or like, hey, we're having this virtual camp, and this is what's happening.
Yeah, I sent everything to Betsy to put on the town Facebook page. And
Okay.
Homepage. I'll follow up with her to see if she can put it on the Facebook.
Excellent. Thanks, John. Okay. Anything else about the camp? Yeah, it would be good to see a listing, Teresa. If you have a chance, can you forward it to us? A listing of the programming you're doing?
Yeah, we did actually have one, and then we kind of, I don't want to say move things around because that wasn't necessarily, you know, some of the topics, we wanted to make things more of a broader age target, because I know some of the topics that I handle, you know, may be more of the fourth, fifth, sixth grade level, and then we want to make sure that we had enough topics that cover basically, you know, K through 3. So we kind of changed things around a little bit. That's why I didn't get it to you. Also, we're doing it in a 3-month stint. We were taking feelers and polls as we go, and if we find that there's something that someone's absolutely not interested in, or we don't get positive feedback in the group, then we're going to restructure it and see if there's something, you know, different that we should offer. But yeah, I can definitely get that to you guys. That's not a problem.
Thank you. Is there anything, I know part of my wish list was to have something to talk about what it, you know, I don't know if it fits into the educational part of the curriculum, or sort of, it can be throughout everything, but how we sort of take care of our brothers and sisters, and, you know, what it is to be a citizen. And you were going to do some sort of educational, maybe history piece?
So we did actually 2 different kind of components on the other site that I'm still maintaining, the distance learning site.
I'm maintaining that. I was wondering about that. Okay, I have to check
At the same time as the camp, because we can't get enough of Teresa. We actually did have a discussion about, not a discussion, but I actually
This is
brought
why
up the
Teresa's
topic.
the best.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you can just keep on saying that. I just need like 30-hour days because, but anyways, the other site we broached I discussed the topic of community and what it is to be a member of your community. It was a resource that I actually found from Beecher. And then I brought up the story of, you know, for my History 101, I discussed Jim Hansen, and the reason why is, I mean, Sesame Street is, you know, building stronger, smarter, kinder children. That's their whole motto. So that was kind of my History 101, and we touched a little bit on community there. And then also in the virtual camp, I came up with an idea, and that's why I didn't get you the list, because I actually came up with it on Sunday night.
Okay.
And I got to sleep a little bit, but the title of the name is Heroes of All Time. And those are going to be talking about different members in our communities that we have. And we're flip-flopping back and forth in that subject period of, and, you know, from men and women and stuff like that, just because, you know, I like to be very equal about that. But some of the topics, I actually have the list here, so I apologize that there it is. That we are actually, is going to be Florence Nightingale, Harriet Tubman, Susan B. Anthony, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and John Maher. So those are some of the topics we're going to be talking about, and I felt that were very important figures, and we titled it Heroes of All Time, so that we have that part of the virtual camp.
Okay, great. Thank you. I mean, I think integrating the you know, some of what you did with Woodbridge distant learning too into wherever that seems appropriate, you know, is it's just a good reminder to the kids who are growing into the citizens of the future.
Who had just sent a message saying that she noticed the link to the virtual summer camp is on the Woodbridge Facebook.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Wow. Excellent. Okay. Anything else about this virtual summer camp? I'm so, you know, indebted the fact that you're doing this, and it's really great that this is available to our children and families. Keeping it going. Oh, I know one thing we talked about, but I don't know if it's still if it's appropriate. We talked about, you know, one of the things that we always had was the t-shirt. So we talked about, is it worth trying to have something where kids can be involved in creating a t-shirt? I mean, there aren't that many kids right now involved, and in terms of expense, I don't know if that's feasible, but the idea of the kids designing some kind of t-shirt for camp this year.
I'm not sure we can do that, Andrea. It's a great idea like this, but
Yeah.
we're doing 110% of what we're trying to do right now, what we're trying to handle. It'd be a great idea, but I don't know. Our staff is small. You know,
Yeah.
we're part-time and we're trying, but I think if we keep it simple and we present the good programs and everything like that, maybe we can come up with something down the road somewhere, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens, you know, if, depending on what programs happen in the future, we could,
Right.
we'll see what happens there. Keep names of young artists for future. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate, that was a stretch. It's all a stretch, but that was an extra stretch. Anything, policies and procedures? I think the COVID signs, that's a big part of the policies, right? Field requests, right? Correspondence, we have field requests, which Jim and John sent out to us. So do you want to run through those, Jim?
So to go through each one by one, I'll tell you the conflicts, no conflicts, and there.
Sounds good.
All right. First one from the packet that I sent here today, I have Dwight's the Bethwood baseball. There's no conflicts. His normal request. His is fine.
Okay.
Following them after his page is the request to grind baseball. This was recommended by Dwight. He's not using the fields. Dwight's not using the fields from 7:5 to 8:2 on the Saturday and Sunday that this request is for. So it is fine. The person understands he's doing a full rental because it is travel baseball. So he understands the full rental fee will be applied in this case. And again, there's no conflict. Bethwood would normally have the field, but they're not opening their program at this.
And Jim, what did you say the name of that team was?
It's called the Grind Baseball. It's a travel baseball team, and they're just looking for a month from Saturday to Sunday at Acorn Hill from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
The person does recognize that it's a full rental. They'll be paying the full fee.
Top dollar. Okay. And those signs, John, those will also go up at Acorn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. Then after that, after his certificate of insurance, then we go to the Mark Averzon Soccer. He's at center on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is a group that's been using it for years. What they normally do, their residents, they sign the waiver form that we have for them. And again, they've been doing this for years. There's no conflict on that request. After that, there's the adult soccer, James Graham. He's at Pease from 10 to 12 on Sundays. They do pay their fee. Again, he's been doing it for years. His group is they're there at the Pease Road field. No conflict. No conflict in that group.
Okay.
That's the Yellow Jacket. Yes, that's insurance right there. And then here's the a new one that came in for recently. James Vick Foundation. Now you can't use Acorn, obviously, because it was Bethwood at Acorn, but his request is for Pease Road. You can have it. There's no one in this for the Pease Road. The only thing that is they can't do is August 1 because Everson has a soccer thing on August 1. But they could use the Pease request that you're looking for. They are tax exempt, so they're a tax exempt group. That's for Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Okay.
And after that is a lacrosse. Carly Costanzo, that's the Amity Youth Lacrosse. They're looking for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. The possible conflict. Well, Woodbridge Soccer only wants Monday, so there's no conflict with Woodbridge Soccer Club. because their request is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. But they can't start on Tuesday and Thursday evenings until September because Everson in January has put in for the Tuesday and Thursday. So they can't start in the summer on the Tuesday, Thursday evenings, but in September, these freeze up and they could start then. But Saturday and Sunday, they could start right away. That is free. That's free go. After them, Matthew Fletcher, travel soccer. Travel softball. And in his notes, he put contingent on Little League use. I have that Little League is on center on Tuesday nights, so if he has to continue and make it around their schedule. Can't have it Saturday mornings because Amity High School is requesting 9 to 12 on Saturday. And as far as Sunday mornings, the adult soccer is at center from 9 to 11. He wants it 11 to 1. That could be some, or anything after, go later than 1. There's no one there after that. So tell them they want to move 11 o'clock on. They could do something at center at that time.
Is he Woodbridge, Jim, or what is he? Is this a Woodbridge program?
That's the travel, so they would be paying, yeah, they're, they would be paying for their usage, yeah, because only 15% would, so if they approve,
Right.
if they do it, they would be around. Then we have the Amity request, and on here, first request from Amity is pool. Now that may be a problem. They're looking for Fridays.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why Todd's not using the orange pool.
I know. Well, he's only looking. This is for a Friday request, I think, because they can't get in there 2:30 to 5:30.
It's a personal reason. Sorry, I'm just curious because everybody in my household had to run to Orange for hours and hours.
Yeah, so I mean, the conflict would be we have no one to clean from him before WAC would go in there at 5. So,
Yep.
Yeah, this request, we probably can't meet the swim request on that. But I just, that is something that's in the packet. But I like I said, we have no way that he can clean that. And behind that, the second page is for his. All right, after that is his Fitzgerald Field for their track team. That's the normal request that he has there for each year. No comments on that. And the next page after that is his center field freshman soccer. And there's no conflict in that. 2:30 to 5:30 Saturday, 9 to 12. That's their normal request. Next page behind that is Woodbridge Soccer Club, and that's their same request that they use every year. It's the Monday evenings at Keys Road and all day Saturday at Keys. Again, no conflict on that request. Following that is Ezra Academy, or there's no, he's looking for Keys, the Keys Road Field, 3:30 to 5:30 on Tuesday and Thursday, starting in September, and there's no conflict. And we have here, we have another adult group, Visor Elosh. His club is the SASL League, which would be a full rental adult. He would go from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And he's also same league that following quest to the fact is Milford Amigos. So their league would coordinate a schedule so they don't play in the same time. And again, Milford Amigos have been here for years. Now it's just the other team in that league. They would be a full rental, which they're aware of. And again, their league will coordinate that it's not a conflict.
Insurance with that?
Yeah. Then we have now next Adam Forstrom, which is the formerly Bethwood softball. It's now Amity softball. They're looking for Monday through Saturday in the evening. Again, it would have to be 5:30 because Amity's at center until 5:30. That's no, as long as they work it with travel softball, there's no conflict on that request. And then follows that is the Milford Amigos. Like I said, they alternate from, they'll alternate with the other group from 8 to 10 at the group. And then finally, we have the request of Everson Soccer. And the Monday to Thursday, there's no conflict. That's fine. But Sundays, this year, Dwight has asked for be till 6 p.m. at the West River. So Everson would not be able to use 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at West River. Wants to use it after 6, that would be fine. And that's the only conflict in that request for their West River.
Wow. That's a field request. I don't.
Yeah, more this year than ever. Yes, we're getting more and more each year.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great. So I didn't have them all printed out in front of me. So after a while, it was like, wow, I'm losing track. But I know you've got it under control, Jim.
Yeah.
So, the people who we have to get back to. Oh, and then also, do we need to, along with the acceptance of field requests, do we need to add something about, well, the COVID rules? And if in the event there's an increase in COVID, this approved field request, may have to
Maybe revoked or
thank you.
suspended.
Yes, that we should just have that somewhere written so that way, just in case. Hopefully we won't have to revoke anything in that, but we need to make sure that that everyone understands that.
Yeah, and the rules, just like John's saying, the rules that we got from Betsy today about the fields, I'll send that along with them, with the email, and then explain again the other thing that, that it may be suspended. When I sent the email out to all these reps, I said that in the email about that it being suspended. We had talked before I sent the email, and you had said that. So initially get it, but I'll reinforce that again.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. So there are some requests that we can't meet. How many? It was a lot. It was a lot to get into. What's that?
I think there was one request. I think there was just one request that Jim had a conflict with.
Okay.
It was the last one. It was Everson Soccer with Bethwood.
Yes.
All the rest I think he can handle, but Everson Soccer, Jim would have to tell them that they can't use the field till after 6.
Okay.
And there's some ones that's some minor changes. Usually when we vote for the motion, they usually say something that with the changes mentioned, the requests have been approved. That's usually said in the past.
Okay. Well, it seems that that's what we should say now. With the minor changes, let's make a motion with the changes, the minor changes that we approve the requests. With the Emerson team, right, they can have the fields after 6. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Ooh, my battery's low.
So that is with Amity, the Amity pool usage for Friday. Is Jim going to discuss that with them, or Jim, do you need to talk to me, or?
We can't accommodate.
We can't accommodate
We can't.
Friday. Jim will let them know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I'm writing stuff down as I go, so I keep track of everything.
There's no
That's
way
what I
to
thought.
cheat it. And then the other thing too, once the school has their Learn to Swim program, they're in there till 3, and so who's
Right.
clean it after the learn? So there's, till the COVID thing is over.
Right,
There's no way
Yeah,
that they could do that.
we could
no. No,
So
there-
on the move.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page when I was making notes, that's all.
Yeah,
I'm
No,
sorry.
no, I'm definitely gonna send that to Ernie and say that.
I'm sorry, my battery was just running low, so I just ran in. Okay. All right, so is everyone in agreement? How many in favor of this motion?
All those in favor? Yep, yep.
Those in-
I second it.
Okay, anyone not in favor? Okay, so moved. All right. I apologize. In running in to save my battery and not get disconnected, I left my agenda outside. It was like, quick, get to an outlet. So I think,
11 is any other business and may be added by 2/3 vote. I don't think we have any other business.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Andrea,
yes.
Andrea,
12 is adjournment.
I'm sorry to hold you guys up. But I did want to very quickly just indicate, because I did not say it earlier, that one of the things from a liaison report standpoint, there was discussion with regard to the old firehouse. There was an update with with the architect in terms of what was happening. So there is ongoing activity there. And we do need to find out what the transitions program, what that implication is going to be, so we can determine the cost involved. But I thought that was something that's obviously pertinent, because as it stands right now, the fitness center is supposed to be in one of those bays.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you, Mika. Yeah, we are definitely eager to find out what's going on with that. And especially now, right now we cannot open the fitness center. I don't know if were to move, if there'd be more spacing available, which is extremely relevant now, given COVID and the distance, the tightness of our equipment in our gym facility.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, just for those people, because it is somewhat sports related, that there is a lot of input from residents as relates to the Amity School turf replacement, the Amity High School turf replacement. And a lot of the local neighbors there have been communicating with Beth because they feel the health concerns are great enough for us to try to see if we can hold that up.
Okay.
So, Mika, do you have a sense? That's very interesting of what can happen.
Obviously, it was a referendum. The referendum is already passed.
Yes.
It would have to be, basically, there's not a lot that can be done from the town's perspective right now. But they felt strongly enough where they may pursue other avenues, and I know they still continue to communicate with Beth. So it's a pretty diligent effort, and I don't know if it's widespread or not. I didn't get that impression, but certainly folks who are concerned have voiced very strong concern and are willing to go, looking to take it as far and as long as they can to try to hold things up, to try to stop the materials they're looking at using now.
Yes, interesting. And my understanding is Woodbridge actually did not vote for that turf. It was the other towns that actually voted in favor. That's my understanding.
That is correct.
So it sounds like it has more impact on the environment, our town's environment. Interesting.
Sorry to delay everybody.
No, that's okay. Thank you for sharing that. That's really important news to hear.
All right, so our next meeting is scheduled for August 24th, did we say?
Correct. 7 o'clock, right, Jim?
Yes, correct. August 24th, 7 o'clock.
Unless we're all needed before then.
Right. Right. Do we have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second? Mary will second it. All in favor? I can't spell. And Smith apologized. He had to step out of the meeting. So, all right. Anyone object to adjourning? Doesn't look that way. All right, so we're adjourning the meeting at 8:45. Thank you all so much, and stay well, stay safe.